Yo, what's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cam Legend, and in this video, I'm going to be speaking about the law of trade-offs. So, this concept is based upon understanding that this reality is about pulling and pushing, gaining and losing. And in order to gain in this reality, you have to give something up. So the law of trade-offs is understanding the principle of time. We hear the saying that there's 24 hours in a day, use it wisely. There's 24 hours in a day. Why are you hating on me? You can be using your time productively to be doing something, so you don't have to hate on me. We understand that. But do we understand the concept of time? Do we understand the concept of time? Because we all went to school, right? And we understand that we had 5 or 6 lessons a day. We had a 1-hour break. We had 1-hour lessons on average. We had 15-minute breaks. And although we understand that the school system is flawed, we understand that we didn't gain enough knowledge, even up to college and university levels, those levels. We can understand the concept of time and how we was boxed into it. And this brings me to the concept of time boxing, which is doing stuff productive within a certain time frame. Because in order to gain in this reality, you need to be disciplined. You need to be disciplined. You need to understand Saturnian energy. A lot of people speak about Saturnian energy, Saturn, the devil, this and that. And in order to conquer the devil, and go search what the definition of Damien or demon means, okay, which means to conquer. In order to conquer this reality, you must understand the principles of this reality. And one thing we cannot escape in this reality is time. So how are you trading your time? Okay, so a lot of people that move into self-improvement, entrepreneurial work, we always hear about trading your time has to be worth it. You have to have an hourly rate that is worth it, because there's only 24 hours in a day. One must get their sleep, one must have time with their family, one must have time for leisure. So with that being said, let's take it back to basics when we was back in school and have time slots to actually do work. If you're trying to conquer yourself and this reality, you have to understand that sitting at home, playing games, watching videos after videos, even if it may be educational videos, you now put yourself in a loop, because let's say you're watching one video after one video after one video after one video, you lose time. You will say, okay, I'm going to watch another one. You now lose time and you become habitually addicted to these vices. And then what will happen if you're not time tracking is you'll see that you spent more time watching videos about how to be an entrepreneur, and you spent less time actually being one. So in order to trade off time the right way, the efficient way, start using a time tracker. I've spoken about Toggle, Toggl. It's an application available on the App Store, and I think it's available for Android as well. you can start to see how are you trading your time, okay? So this is a quick tip there. And time can also be on, trading off can also be on, your belongings, your possessions, your commitments. Sometimes we have things that don't actually value. Let me think of the right way to say this. Sometimes we have things that don't have any value to us in the long run, right? But it may have some kind of, small marginal gain at the time based on your circumstance. AKA, you may be working a job that doesn't really have any kind of long-term value. It's not going to make you rich. It's not going to empower your mind. The stepping stone to it, the ladder is not high. There's no great ceiling. You may become a general manager, but then the general manager always ends up having to be sacked because the employees below them fail them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about a lifetime cycle of a job, right? In this example. However, you may have to play that game in the meantime. And what you may have to sacrifice is this job. You may not be ready to ascend into the next path or career in your life, but you may have to trade it off because it's taking too much of your time, it's taking too much of your energy, it's taking too much of your life force. And this is quite important to know because some people, they want to do what they really love, but what is holding them back is their job. It takes too much of their energy. When they get home, they're fried. When they get home, they want to watch TV. When they get home, it's a wrap. When they get home, they're frustrated. They let it out on others. So sometimes making that trade-off and calling it quits and moving into your new endeavor comes with belief. But what's more important than belief is discipline. Because if you're moving into entrepreneurialism, there's going to be times where things are going to be up, there's going to be downs, for sure. But what's going to help you throughout that time is discipline. And one thing's for certain is when you work a 9 to 5, you have to do certain things, even if you don't like it. You have to wake up at 9:30 or be at work at 9:30, 9 o'clock, even if you don't like it. You have to get there on time, even if the public transport is down. And you may get a few blights, but they don't care. That's Saturnian energy. And somehow you find your way at work on time, even though the public transport was down and you had to take 2 buses and you get where I'm going here. You still found a way. That kind of Saturnian energy is going to somebody else's dream. And that kind of energy may be what is required to keep your business and dream alive, right? So this is it. How bad do you want it? Because somebody's put you in a box that's how bad they want you to be on time for their dream. So you have to reverse engineer that kind of energy onto your business too. And that may be sometimes, this is just an ideology that it may require that kind of energy at the start. But ultimately, once you've mastered that, it will never be that. Everything will be effortless. But ultimately, in order to get out of that effortless, to get into that effortless state, it comes with getting out the red zone. And the red zone requires a lot of force, because we speak about power versus force, and how power is the most optimum energy that we require to stay in the optimal level all throughout the years without tiring and burning out. But before you can get to that state, you have to use force. You have to use brute force before you can get to power. And that's how you know the difference between what is power and what is force, by actually acquiring raw data, understanding the difference between power and force. Okay? So yes, trade-offs. Understand that you have a certain amount of an energy that you can use throughout the day. Understand that even switching different tasks and jobs and mind states takes a bit of your energy. So understand that, it's until you wake up the next day you have refreshed energy. Be mindful of negative charges, aka arguments, aka disempowering beliefs, aka mind states where you're sulking, feeling sorry for yourself, because this all lowers your vibration and it's a trade-off of your energy. So ultimately, try not to be too excited. Don't try to be too overzealous when something is going your way. Keep somewhere in the middle, okay? Because everything is in the middle of everything is in the middle of life and death. When you're too excited, you're living, you're exciting, but this also brings death. And when you're in a state of death consciousness, you're merely living, okay? So that's the polar opposite of things. So this is it. Stay in the middle. Don't be too polarized. And this will keep you afloat, okay? Peace.